Good day everyone, welcome back to the Azure Databricks series. In today's video, I'm going to show you something that enterprises really care about. How to securely connect an Azure Databricks serverless cluster to a highly secure storage account where both have public network access completely disabled. This is not your typical demo where everything is left open to the internet. Instead, we will go step by step through the exact secure setup that real world organizations use in their production environments to protect sensitive data. So, if you have ever wondered how to make Databricks work with a locked down storage account without compromising on security, this video is for you. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. Let's look at the networking section of the Databricks here. If you see here, allow public network access is disabled, and then you have the secure cluster connectivity enabled. Yeah. Now let's go to our storage account, and then if you see here, I'm on the networking section here. And if you see here, the public network access is disabled. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a simple select on a table called JB Aadhaar. Let's execute that query. And then let's wait for it to either complete or error out. Okay, so if you see here, it basically tells the operation failed. This request is not authorized to perform this operation, and it is the infamous 403 error. Yeah. Now, if you look at the cluster that I'm connected, in my last video I was connected to an all-purpose compute, but this time I'm connected to the serverless cluster here. Yeah. So the method to create connectivity between serverless and all-purpose compute to a storage account differs. So right now we are on the serverless cluster. So let's look at how we can create this secure connection between the Databricks cluster, that is your serverless cluster, and then your storage account. Yeah. The first thing that you need to do is you just need to click on this workspace information here, and then click on this manage account. Once you have the account information here, click on this cloud resources. Yeah, and then what you'll do is let's click on this add network connectivity configuration. Okay, so let's give it a name, and then let's select the region. I've given the name and then selected the region. In my case, it is going to be West US2. Let's click on add. Now, if you see here, it is added now. Let's click on that. And then if you look at the details here, if you see here, we have this private endpoint rules. Now what we'll do is let's click on this add private endpoint rule. Yeah. Now what you need to do is you need to provide the Azure resource ID of your storage account. So let's get that information and paste it. Yeah. Let's head to my finance storage account here. Yeah. So now what we'll do is let's go to the overview section of the required storage account, and then you have this information called JSON view. Just click on that, and then if you see here, we have the resource ID here. Yeah. So let's copy that, and then head back to our Databricks add private endpoint rule here, and then paste that information here. And now if you see here, we have the required details copied down here. So now what we'll do is the Azure sub resource type would be DFS. Yeah. So this is what you need to put here, and then click on add, and then wait for it to complete. Okay. So if you see here, it is added now. But if you look at the connection status, yeah, it is showing as pending. What we'll do now is let's go to our storage account, which is finance store ACC. Yeah. In that, let's go to our networking section here, and then let's go to our private endpoint. And then if you see here, whatever we have added, we are able to see the private endpoint here. So what I need to do is I just need to select that and then approve it. Yeah. So let's give a comment here and then click on S, and then let's wait for it to get approved. Yeah, the connection status is pending now. So now it is changed to approved after we approve this connection. Let's go back to our Databricks here, and then let's wait for it to become approved. Yeah, so let's wait for it to happen. Okay, so now if you see here, the connection status is established. Okay, so now what we'll do is like let's head to our workspace here. Yeah, and then you will have all the workspaces listed, but we know that I'm interested on this particular workspace, which is called JB Databricks. So let's click on that. Yep, and then you have something called update workspace here. Yeah, let's click on that. And then as far as the network connectivity configuration is concerned, you need to change that to the one that you have created, which has established a private network connection between your Databricks to your storage account. Yeah, and then once that is done, what you need to do is like you just need to click on update, and then let's wait for it to complete. Now, if you see here, it is done. And if you see here, the network connectivity configuration is set to this JB Databricks Finance Store ACC. Yeah. So now this is established. Okay. Now that it is established, now when you run this query, it should be running fine. Let's look at it. Let's execute this query now. Before that, let's check which cluster we are connected, just to make sure we are connected to the serverless. So we are connected to the serverless. Now let's run this, and then let's wait to see if it returns the result or it fails. But if you see here, we are able to see that the results are returned, and we no longer get that 403 error. Yeah. One thing to keep in mind is like as soon as you added the private endpoint for the serverless cluster, you just need to give it some time. Yeah. So in my case, I had to provide it like close to like 7 to 8 minutes. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. As soon as you add it, and if you come back and run it, it's gonna fail. So you just need to give it some time, because you need to understand like private endpoint connections is not an day-to-day activity. You just do it once, and then you need to give it some time, and once it take effects, you can go from there. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.